Explaining how it feels to have a learning difference through art, part 1. If you're dyslexic, you probably experienced the frustration over trying to figure out what sentence you were lost on, the words you're trying to read, what does it actually mean, why does it seemingly move around, everyone else seemingly doing better than you, and you get more and more frustrated trying to comprehend the text you're reading. And it may feel like a bubble that is just growing and growing, making you very frustrated and very tired. Have you felt like this? Because I certainly have. Follow me for more tips of how to overcome dyslexia. See ya. Explaining how it feels to have a learning difference through art, part 2. In secondary school, after a year of my mom talking to the school that I needed some help, I received a special education teacher. However, she took me to a room and said to me, now I'm going to check if you're smart or stupid. Here are some puzzles. And I always concluded that I must have been very smart because I never saw her again. But that also meant that I never received any help until years after, because I definitely had dyslexia and I really struggled. No wonder why individuals with learning differences are so self-critical, because that's what they hear from everyone else. Everyone else assume that they can't do something, when you actually should focus on what you can do. Explaining how it feels to be neurodiverse through art, part 3. Many individuals with neurodiversity tend to overwork themselves, often working 2 to 3 times more in order to keep up with everyone else. And of course, that makes them not having time for themselves, other people, or even other things they like to do. In my case, I spent 6 to 8 hours after school every day to do homework because I was so afraid of falling behind. And of course, many of these individuals take these bad habits into their work life, causing problems. In my case, I spent many years overcoming that I didn't need to sacrifice my own body in order to get a task done. And individuals with neurodiversity are known for working really hard and be great assets to the workplace. And especially if they do something they love, they will give it everything they have. Explaining how it feels to be neurodiverse through art, part 4. This picture is based on a poem by Madsjohanogaard and it's called His Dangerous Eyes. It portrays how I viewed teachers when I was younger. I was constantly tense because I was so afraid that I wasn't doing good enough. And it certainly didn't help to get tests back that was completely blood red from all the mistakes. Or the teacher sharing the test results of everyone in class out loud. This made the teachers very scary. Don't misunderstand, I had many great teachers throughout my years, but this is how I often viewed teachers. I was very afraid, which is not good. Explaining how it feels to be neurodiverse through art, part 5. This image aims to portray the feeling of falling behind and the shame that comes with not being able to finish up all the tasks that apparently everyone else are able to do, and scared of the reaction from those around you and potentially being bullied because of it, which sadly I and many other individuals with learning differences have experienced. But over time I developed good learning strategies that made this stack of books much smaller, which then resulted in better confidence and less bullying. If you can relate to any of my videos, I recommend that you go out and check my short animated film over on YouTube and tell me what you think and share it with a friend. Thank you. Yo, explaining how it feels to be neurodiverse through art, part 6. This is the dyslexic ninja, the ability to go unnoticed and become one with the wall, to find ways to hide your insecurity and how you actually feel. For example, choosing a book that is way bigger than you normally would go for and pretend that you're reading this book. Make your handwriting unclear on purpose so the teacher can't find a spelling mistakes because he can't read your handwriting. Doing everything in your power to just merge with the wall because you don't want anyone to figure out that you actually have a really bad time. Now, this is one of many ways to express yourself, or in this case, I didn't express myself, I was hiding. But there are many ways to do this. This is just one, a bad one, so to say. A year ago I made a video about this on YouTube, the Dyslexic Ninja, check it out. Hi, this is a crossover episode between how I learned English part 6 and how I explained dyslexia through art part 7. So I studied special education in England on a high academic English level and I couldn't write English. The result was that I failed at pretty much every assignment that had to do with writing. But over the course of the year I learned to write English because that's the only thing I did. I used all my learning strategies and all the learning tools that I had available in order to come through this. And this is how I felt, like a warrior using everything he had to fight this Word document and his essay. And what you're seeing here is actually my final essay. Not only did I learn to write English, but I also graduated. Plus, I proved to myself that all the teachers that told me that I couldn't do the things I wanted was wrong, because I made it. Hi and welcome. This is episode 8 of how it feels to be dyslexic or neurodiverse through art. This image aims to portray the feeling of being alone. Having dyslexia or other learning differences, as I like to call them, can be a very lonely path. It can be hard to explain and for people to understand that you're not stupid, you just think things a little bit differently, and for that you may feel like a loner. I've called this picture red pill versus blue pill. But why? Because the acknowledgement that this guy knows more than he thinks and knows more than the whole world think he does. Not only is it a lonely path, but it's a difficult one too. So it's important for you to know that you are not alone and you are a lot smarter than you give yourself credit for. Explaining how it feels to be dyslexic through art, part 9. This is one of my personal favorite art pieces I've made. I call it the Dyslexic Yin Yang. Because you know what? Yes, being dyslexic or having other learning differences can be really hard and really difficult. This is why it's important that you acknowledge what you find difficult and why you find it difficult, so you can focus on the things that you are skilled in or likes to do, because you can use it to compensate for the things that you find difficult. It's like a scale, you need to balance it. Because as you know, society and our own heads are very good at looking at the negative aspects. That's why it's so important that you focus on the skills that you can. So acknowledge your skills and interests. This is the key to learning, trust me. Explaining how it feels through art, part 10. Dyscalculia. This image aims to portray how it feels to be dyscalculic. As you can see, he has a few more fingers than most people do. The reason for this is that individuals with dyscalculia find it difficult to differentiate between the amount and the symbol. When I was a child, I found it difficult to comprehend that this was 5, because there is no symbol of 5, there's only the amount. And the reason for this bubble is because the pain and the struggle, the anxiety around it just grows and grows, making all these numbers getting stronger and stronger and bigger, more and more confusions, getting a real headache. So it can be a real challenge for sure. If you want to know more about dyscalculia, I have a series called Explaining Dyscalculia on my channel. Check it out and thank you for watching.